Friends, do you all still remember? That girl with the tattoos on her arms, wearing a tank top and a baseball cap, in the super serious setting of the SpaceX Flight Control Center. Several of you left comments asking me to do an episode introducing her. I only managed to track down these 2 photos, but in the process of digging, I stumbled upon a far more critical story. SpaceX, long celebrated for its open and transparent culture, actually operates a brutally strict internal control system designed to prevent employees who have direct access to core technologies and workflows from being easily identified by outsiders and then poached by competitors. SpaceX veteran technicians and core engineering talent have always been prime hunting targets for traditional aerospace giants like Blue Origin, as well as countless space startups. But SpaceX has built a cold, airtight, near military-grade iron curtain of secrecy that locks down its talent pool to the maximum extent possible, leaving external headhunters with virtually no angle of attack. Number 1. The legal ironclad constraint. Under U.S. federal law, heavy-lift launch vehicles and the core performance data of Raptor engines fall under technology domains that deeply overlap with the underlying tech of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Therefore, all of SpaceX core research, development, and testing is strictly governed by U.S. federal regulations. With this legal high-voltage wire in place, the technology and employee masters is no longer classified as ordinary corporate trade secrets. Instead, it is legally designated as advanced defense weapons data at the national security level. Any core technical personnel attempting to switch jobs, even if they merely casually mention a sentence in daily conversation about propellant loading procedures, phased array antenna design, or injector nozzle geometry, the nature of that act can be immediately classified as a potential violation of relevant federal security statutes. They will then face federal criminal prosecution from the U.S. Department of Justice and the threat of a lengthy prison sentence. This means that whenever any employee faces probing questions from a potential new employer, they have to carefully weigh in their mind whether they can truly afford to bear these kinds of consequences. Number 2. The capital instrument lock-in. Beyond the deterrence of federal law, SpaceX has also engineered an extraordinarily robust set of golden handcuffs using economic leverage. A very large portion of employee compensation is structured in the form of company stock options. The stock option agreement explicitly stipulates that once an employee formally submits their resignation and is clearly headed to a direct competitor, SpaceX reserves the right to activate a punitive clawback mechanism. They can immediately freeze the employee's yet-to-be vested equity holdings and even allow the company to forcibly repurchase shares at the original, drastically low grant price. For those core engineers who have grown with the company over many years and are sitting on millions of dollars worth of options, jumping ship to a direct competitor means they have to be mentally prepared to potentially lose assets worth several $1 million in one stroke. Number 3. The legal blitzkrieg. SpaceX is perfectly fine with letting global media outlets and content creators praise them or trash them as much as they want. They are genuinely open-minded about that. But when it comes to internal personnel being poached, their stance is absolutely hardline and uncompromising. The moment a poaching attempt is detected, they will immediately file an application for a temporary restraining order in court, directly freezing the transferring engineer's ability to work in the industry through the judicial process. This can render the engineer completely unable to deliver any value to their new employer for a period stretching anywhere from several months to even several years. Number 4. Third-party anti-infiltration shielding. The defense perimeter goes beyond just the company walls. Cameron County, where SpaceX Starbase is located, has signed an extremely high-level confidentiality agreement with SpaceX. The agreement mandates that if government officials, due to official duties, come into contact with SpaceX internal personnel, they must maintain absolute secrecy regarding those employees' identities, job functions, and any records of meetings or discussions. If any outside media outlet or executive search firm attempts to dig into the personnel roster of the Starship Control Center, SpaceX will immediately step in and deploy legal measures to stop the inquiry in its tracks. Number 5. The modularized cog-in-the-machine system. The state of California, where SpaceX headquarters is located, does not legally enforce non-compete agreements. Therefore, SpaceX internally adopted an extremely strict modular engineering system. They take a massively complex engineering project, like Starlink or Starship, and shatter it into countless tiny, independent, isolated modules. A person sitting in front of a console or working at a station on the factory floor may only possess the highest access control rights to one very specific, very tiny valve. Through this deliberate design of knowledge decoupling and information siloing, SpaceX ensures that even if any single individual employee is successfully poached, they can never walk out the door carrying the complete puzzle of the system with them. So, my friends, from the looks of it, getting a hold of the complete personal file of this tattooed girl seems genuinely not that easy after all. If you have seen her information anywhere, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. I will compile it and share it with everyone else. Alright, that's all for today's content. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Your support truly means a lot to me.